There is a story in the Old Testament that, if I'm honest with you, I find to be one of the most disturbing narratives in the entire Bible. This content may not be suitable for minors, so I want to give a clear warning before we dive in. The story is found in Judges, chapters 19 to 21. Many people are familiar with chapter 19, but often don't read the rest of the story, which I believe holds important lessons for us today. First, I'll recount the story as vividly as possible, and then we'll explore the lessons we can learn from this unsettling tale. Join me in Judges chapter 19, verse 1. In those days, when there was no king in Israel, a Levite who lived in a remote part of the hill country of Ephraim acquired a woman from Bethlehem in Judah as his concubine. Here, we see a Levite man living in the northern part of Israel who takes a woman from Bethlehem in the south as his concubine. However, she was unfaithful to him and left him, returning to her father's house in Bethlehem, where she stayed for 4 months. The Levite, wanting his concubine back, travels from Ephraim to Bethlehem to bring her home. Her father, being hospitable, delays their departure several times, but eventually the Levite insists on leaving. As they travel back north, they reach Jebus, Jerusalem, near sunset. The Levite's servant suggests stopping there for the night, but the Levite refuses to stay in a foreign city inhabited by non-Israelites. Instead, they push on to Gibeah in Benjamin. Unfortunately, no one in Gibeah offers them hospitality, a serious breach of cultural norms. Finally, an old man invites them to stay in his home, providing food and shelter. While they were enjoying themselves, some wicked men from the city surrounded the house, demanding to have sex with the Levite. The old man, trying to protect his guest, offers his virgin daughter and the Levite's concubine instead. The men refuse, but the Levite seizes his concubine and pushes her out to them. They abuse her all night, and she collapses at the door of the house at dawn. When the Levite finds her, she is unresponsive and has died from the abuse. In a horrific response, the Levite takes his concubine's body home, dismembers her into 12 pieces, and sends a piece to each tribe of Israel, calling them to witness the atrocity committed by the men of Gibeah. This shocking act mobilizes the tribes of Israel against the tribe of Benjamin, leading to a brutal civil war. The war is devastating, with thousands of lives lost on both sides. The tribe of Benjamin is nearly annihilated, with only 600 men surviving. The other tribes, feeling remorse for their near extermination of Benjamin, devise a plan to provide wives for the surviving Benjamites. They attack Jabesh Gilead, killing the men and taking 400 virgins for the Benjamites. But 200 men are still without wives, leading the Israelites to instruct the Benjamites to kidnap women from Shiloh during a festival. Now, let's explore the lessons from this disturbing story. First, the absence of accountability leads to moral decay. Judges 19:1 states, "In those days there was no king in Israel." Without leadership or accountability, people made decisions in isolation, often leading to disastrous consequences. Similarly, without accountability in our lives, we are prone to deviate from righteous paths. Second, we must treat every human being as a bearer of God's image. The old man valued the Levite's life over his own daughter and the concubine, showing a grave moral failure. Every person deserves dignity and respect as they are created in God's image. The Levite's willingness to sacrifice his concubine to protect himself highlights a disturbing disregard for her humanity. Third, drifting away from God makes us vulnerable to unimaginable sins. The book of Judges shows a nation slowly turning away from God, culminating in the horrific events of chapters 19 to 21. This serves as a warning that distancing ourselves from God can lead to actions we never thought possible. As we see in this story, the Israelites' moral compass was lost, leading to actions that defy human decency. Fourth, every bad decision has consequences beyond our control. The civil war between the tribes resulted in significant loss of life and further moral compromises. The Israelites' decision to kill men from Jabesh Gilead to find wives for the remaining Benjamites shows how one bad decision leads to another, affecting countless lives. The domino effect of sin and poor judgment can devastate entire communities. Finally, despite our destructive decisions, God's grace remains. Judges ends with the Benjamites rebuilding their cities and returning to their inheritance, demonstrating God's mercy. However, the consequences of their actions were severe and long-lasting. God's grace is evident in allowing the tribe of Benjamin to survive and rebuild, but it does not erase the pain and loss experienced by many. This story underscores the importance of accountability, respect for human dignity, staying close to God, and understanding the far-reaching consequences of our actions. It also highlights God's enduring grace even in the face of our failures. The narrative serves as a sobering reminder of the depths to which humanity can fall when we stray from divine guidance. As we reflect on this story, let's commit to fostering accountability in our lives, valuing each person as made in the image of God, and maintaining a close relationship with Him. These principles can help us avoid the tragic pitfalls illustrated in the Book of Judges. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of one of the Bible's most disturbing stories. If you found this content valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful biblical narratives. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue to learn together. See you in the next video. God bless you.